Hello, this is Jim Lovett. I'm presently the chairman of the Aztec committee to take down this building that you see in front. I'd like to say I landed in North Brookfield in 1975, and when you know it, I lived on the corner of Walnut Street and School Street. So I get to see this every single morning because my apartment was right in front of the building that was at the time owned by Charles Toomey and his wife Margaret. And every morning I would see the Aztec building, people going in there. I never thought that I would be taking my time now and telling you about how we're going to tear it down. But even then I always thought I should have done. Right now you're looking at one of the buildings on the side of the building. And I think if you take a look around, you're going to see that it's time that this thing comes down. It has definitely used its usefulness is gone. Everyone wanted to see that, what this building looks like, and I think it's time that we take a look at the inside. And you can also see that it's very dangerous. I'd strongly suggest that everyone in the area with children make sure that they don't allow them to go in the building because it is definitely a dangerous area. The two buildings you see in the front right now that we're viewing are going to be the last to come down. We presently have a estimate on that at this time, which would be like $584,000. As you see, the highway department also is something that we probably should think about removing from this area. At least that's my opinion. Also, a lot of people have said that maybe it should go across the street, but with the funding in place the way it is right now, it's not going to be possible to use it for that. It's got to be used for industrial enlightenment of the community. But it's pretty obvious when you look around at this building that we've got our work cut out for us. And now the scary part begins. I don't even like going in this, to be honest with you, but it's always a pleasant walk, I guess, if they want to call it that. It'd be more pleasant when it's down on the ground. This area is the area that's going to be last to be taken down. As you can see, it's mostly cleaned out already. But as you look at the pipes overhead, there has been noticed that there is asbestos still in the threads, and there's also going to be asbestos dust and other things that may need to be taken care of. But that's going to be assessed at this time. We've had people in there now, because of the engineering portion of this that will be, giving us a really good assessment of this, what is definitely going to be cleaned and what hasn't. But as you see right at this point in time, there's a few things left that are definitely going to need to be taken care of. But we're going to have to work at this one step at a time because that's what it takes. But when we do walk in this building, many people said to me, well, why don't we make it into a Faneuil Hall or something? I really and truly believe that, it's just not the kind of building that you could ever do that with. As far as heat requirements and everything else, it would be a bear to take care of. Right now we're looking from the opposite end back through. You can also see that time is taking its course and there are things going through the windows. And some of the things you see on the floor have been left by animals, and it's not really pleasant to step on. I'm certain that everyone could figure that out. But hopefully it won't be long before we'll take this down. You notice that the steps are decaying too, and we're going to the second floor right now. And this used to be a big furnace in this area, and why it's covered over is because there's still a lot of asbestos that still needs to be abated from that area. I think at the time what they used to do is they used to dry the materials through that machine, but the machine itself had asbestos to keep the heat in and the cool, on the outside. But that's probably even scarier than anything else you could ever see. But we're going to get to some scarier parts. I think maybe it's time that we talk about the time frame on this too. Right now we have selected an engineering firm, and what happens at this time is it takes probably about a month to get them to write up the specs to go out to demolition. Then you need approximately 3 weeks to have them come back with their bids. Then we will begin the process. and a guy of my size will, you know, I'm not very good at flying. There's some vats. We really don't know what's in it, but they have been tested, and I'm certain that that's going to be another project. But there's many projects in this whole thing. And if you can look out through to get the idea of, you know, from the top, even the roofs and everything are beginning to fall in. So it will be only a matter of time before something, you know, falls right through. This is an elevator shaft, which is open right now. Here's the old elevator. Now we're approaching another building. As you can see, everything is grown up around it. If you look in that pile, you can see some asbestos still lingering on the outside. And it's been told to me that there are other pieces and other materials that are still in the area in different places. The red area that I just saw is an area where you can look right through, and there's like a well, you know, not a well, but an area that you can walk underneath the floors. That's in the first floor. Very dangerous. And they found a whole bunch of asbestos down that area, which has been now cleaned out. There's just a very little bit amount of materials as far as equipment goes in this one, but you can still see it. And there's another elevator shaft. You know, that's the elevator itself. I couldn't picture myself going upstairs in it, but you might come down just as quickly as you went up. It is amazing to see how industry has changed its ways. To think that this place probably was running back in the 70s, and now it's, you know, that's 35 years ago, and it's like so outdated, it's unbelievable.
Is it second floor?
When you look down this building, you definitely see that it's a very large project, and it's going to take a lot of effort to put this down. This is a walkway that goes across to the other building, which is in total decay, and it's also 2 stories off the ground. And as you see, some of the walls didn't make it. It'll be a very interesting thing to watch. We did talk to some demolition people, and everyone has their own way of doing it. But it seems like they said that they might eat it up with a machine with like a Pac-Man. That's what it looked like, and then take it away. That's why they're assessing everything right now, because sometimes it's valuable material when you crush it and change it into something else. And one of the major things they would be doing is recycling anything they can possibly recycle, because what it does is it helps out in the cost and the takeaway and removal, because it's very difficult to find places to get rid of this stuff. The moss on the floor is because the ceiling has been taken out because of just everything. That truck has sat there probably for about 20 years. We're walking through the area. Right here, this area is just seeing right now, what you just saw is going to be really where the main area is going to be working. There's some tanks in that area, and they'll be taking those out also. We're probably going into one of the worst buildings right now. This is where they had a lot of equipment and machinery, and this is where the drying tower was at the other end. This was called the Sawtooth building. As you can see, it looks like everybody left, but you can also see right up front there that that's the whole roof that's caved in, and there's a couple beams that are supporting it, and it is in very, very rough shape. On the right-hand side over there is an area where there's some vats in there, and those are going to be tested too to make sure that the materials can be taken out. What's going to happen here too is they're going to be taking out all the asbestos and hazardous materials first. And the best part is if you can take it out before you tear it down, then you don't have to separate it. So hopefully they'll be able to separate all this. Like all that steel and all the materials that you see there are going to be separated. There are also small basins in the place, which the kids have been getting into and out of, and it's not very conducive to. They shouldn't hang around there. And that's the drying tower. As you can see, we were in there one day, and the boards were falling right through, and it's just not any place you want to be at. Some of the old materials, the equipment is still there. Most of this will be salvaged as far as, recycled the steel matter or the cast iron or whatever. This is a kind of a scary area with some kind of material in it, which I don't know what it is, but it doesn't really look like you'd want to be in it for any length of time. The pallets, of course, will be easy to remove. As you can see, the ceiling, the roof is starting to fall right in. This was the office area back then. It's funny that it almost looks like everybody left one day and that was the end of it. And then, of course, everybody got in there and tore it all to pieces. But it's kind of a strange feeling to know that, a lot of people made a living in the town of North Brookfield here, and then all of a sudden it was gone. And there's an oil tank, which will be removed. And if you can see up through there, that's a sheet of asbestos that's fixed a patch in something. And when you're looking up through the tower was built very well, but weather has really gotten to it, and it's ready to go. This is the office area. The ceiling has been terrible. And all the engineers that came through here just couldn't believe this either. But they also said that, it's going to be a job, but they can do it. So then it's going to work out in that respect. These were the old locker room areas. I'm certain there's people in this town that can remember a better day when these were a good place, and it was probably a good place to work. It's funny how things have changed. I've spoke to people over the years, older people, and they've told me how they cleared the desks off the high school that was next door at the time and had snowball fights with the asbestos. So very difficult to think about it sometimes, how we've changed our ideas and thoughts on asbestos for sure. There again is the tower. This is another area. We're going into the other building, which this is the brick building that's out front, and it joins Grove Street. There's still a little bit of equipment left in here, but not too much. I think that this one, as far as going inside the wooden floors, you can see they're buckling, and but they're very, very thick. But that's not to say that a guy my size couldn't fall through them. All the engineering people came in and viewed all this before they made their bids on the engineering. And, they've had their demolition people come in. This stairway was scary. That's why I'm on the edge, because I think if I was in the middle, we could have a little problem. And I don't know if Russ and Rita could have picked me out of there.
Second floor.
There again, you can see this is the second floor of the brick building. It's seen its better days, and it should come down pretty easily, I would think. And the flooring you can see right there is just buckled and ready to go. And if you go up to the ceiling area, the roof area, right there, you can see where it came from. It came from the roof, and that's the tower that's joining Grove Street, which definitely needs to come down, because it's only a matter of time before it'll fall into the street or hit Quabog River. There you go with the floor. I think that the weather has just had its toll on this building, and it's just gone. So I suggest nobody go up there and see for themselves, because you could end up in the cellar pretty quickly. And this, folks, is where we start. The engineers are coming in to take a look at the building, to take it down. And if all goes well right now, we should get the back buildings down before December. And I hope that's all. I hope we get the extra money so that we can take it all down. Thank you very much.
It will be a little bit longer, but we're welcoming our teenagers into the community of faith as young adults, so hopefully we can have a packed house. We have
Yeah, solid.
And it won't fall.
I know. Amazing, isn't it?
This morning on behalf of the town of North Brookfield. As you just saw, one of our big nightmares is coming to an end. And we have a couple of people that have been responsible over the years for this. And, they asked for a remnant of the building. And if Senator Brewer would come over here, I'd be glad to give him so he can bring it to Boston and add it to the one in his office.
Thanks very much, Jack. Thank you. Thank you. Here it is, everybody. It's all done.
Here's one of the original ones from before. I don't know what office you're going to add it to.
You ought to see that office. You ought to see it as well. A lot of what you see here today is a little bit like reverse Field of Dreams. You remember in that great movie Field of Dreams where they say if you build it, they will come. This particular endeavor is if you tear it down, economic development and prosperity will come. I will venture a prediction that the people of North Brookfield are going to see activity on this 5-acre site in the very near future, which will increase the tax base of this community. This has been a great, great team effort. Former Representative Tuttle was a great teammate in the legislature in this regard. The DEP in Boston, the EPA in the federal government, DHCD, Department of Housing and Communities and Development, and the townspeople of North Brookfield. The Board of Selectmen, Don Smith, the Board of Health, SEA consultants, and a person who's lying on the beach in Aruba right now, probably, the one and only Dickie Shabbat. Anything is possible if everybody works together for the betterment of a community. Be very, very proud of yourselves. I want to recognize our current state representative, Ann Goby, who's here today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Representative Goby. And to all of you in North Brookfield, there are many good things happening. The new post office, the new townhouse as a national historical site with the help of Jim Caldwell and Greg Kai here. The new senior center with the help of Bill Scanlon and the Central Mass Planning with their grant. Many, many good things are happening in North Brookfield. Hopefully a new public safety complex, a new school for the kids in this town, and on and on. I predict that the best is yet to come for the town of North Brookfield. And thank you. I'm honored to serve you people, and you do me great honor to allow me to be your state senator. God bless you all.